Real talk, zero filter. Let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to Two Old Farts Live, just the internet whisperer and his assistant talking shit about all kinds of stuff. We come to you every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and replayed with a pile of stuff to share with you. You may laugh, you may get mad, or you may just learn something. So before we jump in, meet my partner and your host, the internet whisperer, live from paradise.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Isn't that Jim Carrey in The Truman Show? That's it. Anyway,
Yes,
good,
yes.
good morning from paradise.
Oh,
Good night to you all.
yes. It's evening here, it's morning there.
So, what do we got happening today?
Oh, all kinds of stuff and shit and everything. But before we jump in, um, tell them about your websites. Get that get all that
Okay,
gear out there. The
quick run.
Internet
Access
Whisperer, which will be coming soon.
theinternetwhisperer.com.
Oh,
I'll put the link in the description.
ooh.
Also, my personal website. I guess we could show that for them a little bit later. When we go and do our screen sharing stuff, we'll go and show them what it looks like. And I've got a number of other sites that I'm working on. But as per normal, you don't get everything at once. You have to wait for some of those. Well, I won't call them secrets, but they're certainly, hidden for the time being.
That old
What do you call it?
ketchup commercial that we had
Coming,
over here in
coming.
the United States, where kid turns a bottle of ketchup upside down, and it takes forever to come out, and he's beating on the bottom of it, and this song's playing in the background, anticipation, and it's coming out real slow. So, anticipation for what's the good stuff coming later.
That's it. Great anticipation. Coming soon. All good things to those who wait.
So
Or at
let's
least that.
hear about you first, real fast, about where you came from for the new folks listening in.
So if you haven't met me before, the Internet Whisperer, I was around playing with tech stuff before the internet was the internet. Took my first foray into tech stuff with a couple of geeks, and I was their geek translator, so that when we did our public stuff, they didn't have to front up. I did all the front stuff. So I got taught geek by two, personality bypasses, is how I would describe them. They were, the screen was friendly. Anyway, so taught into the basics of internet coding, etc. We created Australia's first micropayment system. We eventually sold the company to the main telecom provider in Australia, which was our first buyout exit. And been involved with the internet ever since in lots of different ways. Always been active online and turned myself into a digital nomad in 2002. Have been traveling and living and loving and interneting ever since. My recent forays, I've ended up in paradise after spending nearly 20 years roaming the world, living in different parts of the world. Anyway, that's enough for me. I still keep in touch with the internet and what's going on. In fact, we've got some fun stuff coming up. I'm what I call busy relaxing. Relaxing in paradise, keeping busy, because shit out of luck doing the do nothing retirement.
Oh gosh, yes. Boredom sets in 5 minutes.
Anyway, so that's a little bit about me. Okay, you can waving at the camera, running this, and of course here's the pair of us together. Oh yeah, do the wave together. Anyway, so getting back to talking shit. Do you like our little animation? We have to add a new one into that.
Yeah, we gotta maybe have something jumping over the fence.
What a great idea.
On the beach.
Here's the tool that I think that we should use for that one. All right, you'll see. This one was actually a little animation put together by Meta AI in its very early incarnations. Incarnations. I don't know.
Carnations, yes.
Carnations. um,
We're
but
sunflowers, just kidding.
So I think what we should be using next time is a product called Kling, and that will be the next version of that.
It'll be fun.
Because of the animations, although that may change at a whim, because that's how tech happens. Last week's U-Butte Fantastic is outpaced by, some geek, creating a brand new version that's even betterer.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's a real word, betterer.
And they change it in the update stuff so often and come up with new stuff. It's like when we first started working with Canva, it was, copy and paste pictures and everything, and now they can does all kinds of fun stuff.
I'm thoroughly impressed with the speed of things. I like new things. The challenge is that the newest thing is quickly surpassed. The end result is I've got to learn some other new things, not because I want to do something new, it's because I have to do something new. So
the challenge is got to keep up.
The challenge is keeping up, knowing what to use, and then deciding whether we're going to be a consumer of the product or a creator using the product. So anyway, that's where we are. That's the world as it is, moving very fast paced. And the other thing apart about that is that whilst there was a North American domination in tech, that's slowly moving global. I heard the other day that France has banned Microsoft Office on all of their government computers, and they're swapping to a version of Linux which is disconnected from all of the American big tech products. So no Windows, no Microsoft Office, a European-based Office suite.
Say to blame them.
No, 100%. And it all came from an incident. Can't remember the exact details, but it was some government department. It might have been UN or something like that, where the department was, operating normally, and then some sanction hit that the Americans put on, and essentially all of their data storage, something similar to Google Drive, was turned off by Microsoft, right? Because of the US government regulation. And 1 minute they've got it, the next minute they haven't. So all their working systems, for instance, were just turned off in an instant. And they said, that's it. We can't be, we can't rely on some third party being controlled by a political agenda, and very quickly they made the move, which I think is incredibly smart for them, but it's a wake-up call for the rest of the world, is that there are other options. And the other aspect is the big North American tech stuff is vulnerable now because the technology is mature enough so that many people can do it.
They're even hacking into hospital stuff now.
Yeah, it's good. It's a constant battle. I hate it. Oh, I probably shouldn't use the word hate. It's not that bad. It's a detestable side of the internet where somebody thinks that they can do black hat stuff and get away with it.
Oh yeah.
Same as
But yeah,
scammers.
this was I just read about it the other day. It was an app called MyChart, which a lot of doctors and hospitals use to communicate with their patients and for their patients to get their information and to get their medications and everything else. And just with certain hospitals, but it was hacked into, and apparently information was stolen.
And stolen in what way? Like the
People's
information
personal
was removed
information.
from the system?
Well, people copied it out of there. So it's like if you have all your personal information, they have it now, like your
Okay.
name, address, phone number. If you have any financial information, because if you have like a hospital bill or a doctor's bill, you can pay it through that, and so they can get all that
So was it
too.
all of their users or just that hospital's version?
No, I think two or three hospitals it uh, happened to.
Okay.
So yeah, not all of them, but they apparently blocked them out or something before they got. Well, Cherokee Hospital is a lot of people, so yeah, but it wasn't everybody.
So uh, have we got a rant today? Have you got something that you want to be uh,
I do have a rant. Um, I just recently, was being the old fart that I am, got some hearing aids. Um, and on them they have an app, like everything else does, where you can set for different modes. Like if you are watching television, it has a television mode. If you're in a crowd of people, it has a crowd of people mode, and it has a special restaurant mode. And I noticed, like, a lot of times, like, we go out to restaurants on a rare occasion, and they're so loud. It's like everybody in there is shouting that my actual hearing aids has to have a special mode just to knock that down, so my ears aren't bleeding the time we're done. We went to one time that it was so loud, and there was only like four of us there, all sitting at one table. We had to text each other, and we were 2 feet away from each other because it was so loud in there. Why
what?
does it have to be so loud? Yeah. And it wasn't just the people, the music was blasting. So my
So
rant for this week is, why do restaurants have to be so darn loud?
and it's so common. Is there an underlying profit methodology? Okay, does was the restaurant wasn't full, was it? So it's not like they need you out to turn over the
Maybe three
table.
quarters. Yeah, maybe three quarters. They
Okay.
did have some empty tables, so no, they didn't need us out.
Okay. Look, the management of business has so many little twists to it. Maybe, that's part of their
Oh yes.
strategy. Maybe it was just plain, bad manners, or, somebody got their, you know, the wrong setting
Don't
or
get me wrong,
whatever.
it wasn't bad music. That's the funny thing. The music was good. It was Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly, and it was like an oldies diner. So the music was good, but it was all the way up.
Yeah. Well,
So
the
yeah,
other thing,
I
the
just
other
don't
side of
feel
it,
that.
the other side of it too is that uh, it, I've noticed my tolerance level is lower, but also once upon a time where loud was okay, it's not okay anymore, right? So
Nope.
maybe you weren't the ideal customer that they were aiming for.
That's
Maybe
what everybody there noticed it though. I mean, I don't
okay.
think that, I mean, I saw people on their phones. I don't know if they were playing on their phones or if they were texting each other like we had to, but just seemed unnecessary. But yeah, it could be that I'm just an old fart and I'm just not into that anymore.
Yep. I I can see how that might be relevant as well. And it does change the way that we respond. I was going to say to react to situations. Probably would have put up with it before. Now it's like, can you turn the music down? Actually, I do that in my local
Oh yeah.
place here. It's a very short
Yeah.
walk to get to the cafe, and that it's not used a lot. So rarely is there more. There are often times when it might be me and one other person, right? And the staff have got the
Oh,
music up because they enjoy the music, and you've
yeah.
got to wave at them and signal to bring it down a little bit so that you can do your stuff.
They
Anyway,
don't think the waiters and waitresses noticed because, I mean, they're talking to us and getting our order, and I'm like, everybody's like, what? And, they see old people saying what, and they're just going to assume that you're deaf. Talk louder.
what did you say?
Yeah.
Talk louder.
Mhm.
Um, do you remember the Formula One driver Nicky Lauda? Remember those days?
Specifically.
No. Oh,
Not,
okay.
I don't remember his name. I'm not a big Formula One fan, but I've vaguely seen it. Um,
Yeah.
my mother was a big sports fan, so if it was on, it was on the TV at the house. So I probably did.
And of course, his name was Lauda, Lauda, and it was like, what's that?
Oh,
What's that Formula One driver's name?
hmm.
That Lauda. What's that Formula One driver's name? Lauda.
Mhm.
The circular. Yeah.
Yes. Old joke.
Um. Okay. So, seeing as you're in control of
Alrighty.
the agenda today,
Yes.
sorry,
Yes, we're
in
did
charge
the
of in charge of. Let me get um the grammar correct, pedantically correct, even though I can't
so
spell.
next on the agenda is do you have any good residual income or side hustles you came across this week?
Actually, now that you mention it,
Mhm.
uh,
I just did.
coming up 1st of August, um, somebody who shall remain nameless challenged me to put together a residual income online challenge. So I was challenged to do $1,000 a month in residual income. So that's $1,000 recurring monthly in 30 days or less.
Wow.
And so that's a over the shoulder process. So you
Cool.
can watch me do it over the shoulder. So I'm going to be starting that on the 1st of August. I have 31 days to achieve that challenge, which I'm reasonably confident that we can make it happen. Sorry, I can make it happen. Um, so the
Have
challenge
your
is a
running shoes
combination.
on.
What was that?
Said you better have your running shoes on. Hit the ground running.
Uh, I'll only be doing it for 2 hours a day maximum. That's what part of the process. So the premise is as if you were building a business part time to supplement your current income, job, whatever, or in retirement, just doing something, casually for, a couple of hours a day. And
Yeah.
the the basic premise is start with $10 so that it's a bootstrapped operation, and I have to be non-geeky, which is going to be really hard for me because I've
Yes.
learnt I've learnt some shit in my time. Do we have to bleep shit out? Is that an
I
acceptable
don't
word
think
for?
so. I've seen stuff on YouTube all the time. They say worse than that.
Yeah, I guess it's just the monetization and cancel culture stuff. Anyway, so
Oh yeah.
so I have to be non-geeky in how I do it. So I have to sort of
Mm,
turn off all of the stuff that I would normally come naturally, and I have to be an unnatural beginner, which I think is going to be the hardest part for
mm,
me because it's like, oh, I can do
yes.
this. I've got to follow this course, and I've got 31 days to do
Mm,
$1,000 in recurring income, starting with $10 in the budget, and it's bootstrapped. So essentially, the budget is very low, and the whole idea is to spend what you earn rather than have to spend to earn. So it's learn to earn to learn. So, learn to earn to learn.
What a
And then you
wonderful
get,
thing for people that are retirees that, maybe they need a couple extra bucks because when you retire, your income gets cut. You're used to
exactly.
living
And
at a
then,
certain level of income, and now all of a sudden, oh gosh, it's half.
yeah, look, one of the things that I am finding at the present moment for a lot of people is I guess, in the Gen X boomer market space, is the tech
Mm,
overwhelm, right? It's being overwhelmed by tech.
oh yeah.
It's not necessarily um, not being able to do the tech. It's just that there is so much of it about, right? That
Mhm.
the end result is that you don't know what to do. So it's an overwhelm, almost a because there's a um, uh, just trying to think of the word. There's another old fart problem. So many words go in, but some of them don't come out again. And overwhelmed
They just
with
spin around
inaction.
inside. Yeah.
Overwhelmed
I think I
so much
noticed
that
that.
inaction.
Yeah. I noticed that when my mom retired from business. She was working at the tax office in our town, and she worked on a computer every single day, but she only did specific things on it. So when she retired and she would need something like done on the computer, she would come to me and say, "Hey, I need you to do this." I'm like, "Don't you know how to do that?" And it just like the minute that she didn't have to anymore, her brain just went, "Nope, I'm done."
Yeah. So, excuse me. Part of the process is removing the overwhelm,
Hmm?
or at least dealing with the pieces so that it's simple enough so it's not overwhelming. Anyway, so that's the fun stuff that's um,
I
coming
can't
up.
wait to watch.
And you can watch over the shoulder. There will be a link in the
Hmm.
um, description. I was going to say link in bio, but that's not correct in YouTube. So there'll be a link in the description heading to it. And we're calling it the Freedom Builder Experiment because I love a good TLA. So it's the FBE Freedom Builder Experiment.
And
So
you need to prove that it can be done. Because if anybody can do it, it'll be you.
actually, it's I think it's not about me in this one because I've got to be the average person. non-geeky, low-tech
Yeah.
version of me. It's repeatable, even though I'm going to do it. It's going to be repeatable by many people.
Well,
And
now I have a question for you. If people see you doing this and they want to join in, will they be able to?
sure, and that's part of the process. It's like, oh, that's how easy it could be. I want to have a shot at this. So, the tool and process that I'm using is from a company called the Home Business Academy,
Okay.
and they're primarily focused around creating residual income and perfectly suited to Gen X and Boomers.
Mhm.
Um,
That's good.
so that's I the tool slash training course. The momentum I'm going to do is utilizing that, and of course, anybody who's watching and wants to not just follow, but to follow in the footsteps and do it. Quite welcome to be able to utilize the same educational and community space that home business or home business academy or HBA use. Should be fun.
Should be fun. Like I said, I can't wait to watch.
Anyway, that is actually a challenge in conjunction. It's the Internet Whisperer is being challenged by Be Independent Today, which just happens to be one of our other projects that we're working on. So do you want to tell everybody what Be Indie is about?
B&D is going to be a lot of things. It's actually all in the title. Be independent today. You can go in there, and it's not just about going in and you know being affiliate and stuff like that, but it's also about going in there and learning about how you can maybe increase your income or just add a little bit to it. Um,
And
there's
it's
no like mandatory like you have to spend $1,000 or you can't do this. No, it's about teaching, it's about learning, and it's about community because it'll be a community in there that you can talk to each other and encourage each other and communicate with us too.
and the
Um,
primary focus is residual income opportunities or information about residual income.
and learn all the pieces that you need to do it. It's not going to be like you're thrown in there and you're just spinning around going, what do I do now? How do I do this?
Hmm.
It'll be all laid out for the lessons and stuff. So, like you
So
said, learn to earn to learn.
so um, it's like the side hustle 101 where you can just watch over the shoulder and um, you know uh, talk and discuss, or there's also
Mhm.
things that you can take action on, uh, learn if
Absolutely.
you want to, uh, with the aim to earn residual. I don't know about you, but there's something about residual income that is just uh, uh, incredibly motivating. So people talk about earning while you sleep, all right? So waking
So
up to
fun.
an email that says this much just got deposited in your account. It's like, hang on a
Mhm.
minute, I love that. Now, uh,
Yeah.
my history as an affiliate marketer, internet marketer, digital nomad, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, my longest running affiliate income was just
Mhm.
over 10 years. So I
Wow.
introduced a product, to an individual who used it for more than 10 years and continued to pay for it. And as a result, I continued to get a commission month after month
Wow.
after month for over 10 years, just over 10 years.
It's awesome.
And that's the sort of
That
thing
is awesome.
that changes people's lives. Waking up in the morning and it's
It
like
does.
ding ding or ka-ching.
Oh, yeah. Cha-ching.
Actually, I was listening to a uh, a small video the other day of somebody who has been building communities, and they're doing it through
Mhm.
school,
Okay.
which is a play on the words, but SKOOL. Yes, there'll be a link
Mhm.
in the description. And um, one of the things that school has been doing has been promoting those people that are promotable within their network, right? So school is a platform, and then there are individual, you know, mini schools or communities inside that environment. And this woman was about to quit doing her school when school took it upon themselves to do what they call as a boost process. And what they were doing, they were promoting her school for her, and her boss at her day job asked this woman what was all of those ka-chings that were happening on her phone during the day. And she has a small membership that pays $5 a month per person.
Mhm.
And uh, I think it was something extraordinary. Like in a single month, she got an additional 1,000 members, right? And of course, if you get 1,000
Oh,
members, what's that?
$5.
Well, yeah, the money's great, but what was happening was the notifications on her phone were going ka-ching, ka-ching. She's got that set up as
Mhm.
a tone, and she
Yes.
was getting these cash register ka-chings all day, and that's what she had to live with was whilst I'm working, the ka-chings were happening to the point where other people noticed and asked her about it, and there's
And then they probably some of them.
I don't know about you, but that seems like a very pleasurable notification from my perspective.
I
Ka-ching.
like to talk to people that I don't know much about if they, about my business and what I'm doing with my stuff. And I could be out with my partner, we're talking about it, and somebody will ask, and I'll give them the information. Say, hey, here you go,
Yeah.
and tell them about it. So it's enjoyable when strangers just come up and ask you when they hear you talking about it. They get interested.
Oh, I just had an idea.
Yes.
The other day, I created a little image. Let me. I might even be able to throw it up here. Let's see if I can find it. I did. I think I downloaded it. But
Oh,
basically, I oh yeah, okay. So here it is. Let me see if I can bring it across. I'm just going to drop it in here. Okay. So here's the here's the image. Oh, hang on. I've only gone halfway. I've got to do both. So um, people often ask me, "What do you do?" Okay, and this was my response. It got to the point where, like, "What do you do?" Right, and it's like, "Oh, how many more times am I going to have to say that?" Right, but by the way, this is my morning stroll, sunrise. Anyway,
and
notice on the back of the
of course,
T-shirt,
the coffee.
of course,
Yes,
the coffee. Yeah. Um, so
the
notice the back
QR
of the
code.
T-shirt. What's
Mm-hmm.
what's on the T-shirt?
Was the QR code.
Exactly. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
thinking, right? We could create a bunch of merch that instead of having to answer the question,
Mm-hmm.
just scan the QR code.
I hear your thoughts. Absolutely. That's awesome.
Now that brings me to another a little tech thing that we can actually go through.
Hmm?
What was that? Well, I'm just trying to remember the name of the company that did the logo QR generator. That it?
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, so let me share with you the website. So
Tech of the week,
this is
everybody. Tech of the week.
link in description. Logo QR generator. So that if I go back to hang on. If I go back to that one, there's a QR code on it, but
Mhm.
how boring
Yes,
is black and white, right? So
rather boring. Yes.
this is a chance to be able to create something that is a little bit more fancy. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use this as an example. All right, I'm just going to put that across there. I'm going to crop it and apply it. Now all of a sudden, I've got a QR code happening.
Oh, show us.
Oh, hang on, let me do it this way. This is my quick version. Okay, so now all of a sudden, I've gone from a boring QR code into something that is a whole lot more appealing or interesting. Now, maybe not ideal for the back of a T-shirt because you're obviously
Yeah.
not boring when you're looking at that. But if you come across a logo like this on a page, or throw it up in the middle of a video that you're doing, etc., super handy. And it's a version of QR codes that are currently not readily available, right? So you can do all sorts of
Yeah.
things. You could do something as basic as putting that sort of logo on it, which gives a good idea, or hell, you could walk or go my YouTube channel using that, right? But I
So
think
why
the
don't you give us a look about how you did that
how
real
I
fast?
did.
Made the QR code.
Okay, so let me show you that QR code.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to upload a picture, and put that little piece in there. I'm going to drop that in. Could be anything. And there's the,
Wow, that's so cool.
yep,
Look at that. Now that's not so boring.
not so boring. And
Like you said, it may
if
not
we,
work on a shirt, but yeah, for other things it would.
yeah, absolutely. So maybe we can do something like, for instance, I'll use me as an example. Nope,
Hey, yep.
I'm going to, yeah, well, there you go. That's a bit of an indicator. Oh, look, there's me. Um,
There
okay,
you go. Use that one.
and drop that in.
Mm,
And I put the website in so that we can get the
little.
full picture. There you go. You've got the image in the background. It's fully QRable, so you can point your phone at it and it will, send you to the link. In this instance, it's the website.
Absolutely not as hard as you would think it is, you know? I mean, you would think something like that would be very difficult, a lot of programming and coding and everything, but using this website, you can just literally just drop and there you go.
Exactly, and of course, you can modify a few things. So, for instance, you can make the dots bigger so that it works on smaller items, like on a business card or whatever. Um, The full program does have a pro version, but the free one is completely usable. So anybody wanting to do that can do that. There is a tutorial that they play, but that's
Oh, it's great.
that's the use of technology that sort of makes it more fun.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking, put that onto the the back of a t-shirt, and when people say, "What do you do?" just point them to the QR code. Like, scan that; it'll show you, right?
And
So,
they are showing up everywhere. I was at the eyeglass place a couple months ago, and they had a QR code on the thing that said, you want or more information about this kind of glasses, to scan the QR code. The mistake
yes,
they made is, though, they put it on a mat on the floor.
mat on the floor.
I have no idea why. Maybe
I
the manufacturer of whatever type of lenses they had gave it to them, but a
that's
mat on the
that's
floor.
that's not such a silly idea.
Oh,
And here's why. Okay, when you're at the doctor's,
mm.
you spend most of your time looking down. You don't look up and engage people. You look down. If it's on the mat, that's where you're at. That's where you're looking.
It was rather big. It was rather big. My only thoughts about that is, if people get their dirty feet on it, it may not scan.
No, okay. So here's I'll come back to the to the um, to the process, right? So here's you talk about not scanning, scary
Yes.
looking at that picture. So one of the options is what they call error correction. So imagine that some of this is obliterated and you can't see it. You can structure this so that it builds in extra information so that even if part of it is missing, it still is scannable and it
Well,
still goes to the same
well, they
spot. So
so they have that all covered.
look, the guy who originally created QR codes, do you know what QR stands for?
No, actually, no.
Quick response.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it's a quick response code,
Makes total
QR.
sense.
Yeah. So the Japanese guy who originally designed this realized that on some occasions you wanted something that was reliable. It came from the progression of barcodes, barcodes on your,
Right?
there's a barcode on every product that you buy.
Yes. Yes.
However, it's limited in the information that it can provide, and it's a third party that issues those barcodes, right? So what this
True.
guy wanted was a open source, open and available to everybody, variation of a QR code that could basically be available to everybody, you could use by everybody. The technology was device independent, so your phone can do it, your computer can do it. It's basically point and click. And if it was printed, then if it was partially done, it could also be. It could still figure out where it needed to go, so you didn't need the like if one of your um, it's on your t-shirt and the washing took out one of the dots, it still operates. So one of the options was error correction. So I think it's as little, you can see as little as a third of it. I think you need to see at least one eye. The eyes are what's in the corner, right? You need to see one eye and about a third of the dots to be able to get the actual link working. Actually, that'd be a good test. Put a QR code down, put a sheet of paper, cover it, and see how much coverage you can do,
Yes.
and it still recognizes the link. Anyway, that was QR codes. Um, Picture QR codes.
My gosh, it was invented a lot longer ago than I thought.
Yeah.
1894.
Yeah, there were smart people around way back then.
Oh, I know, but I mean, there wasn't as much computer stuff back then, though. I thought QR codes was a recent thing.
Well,
Just to me.
it's only recent because it gained momentum as a technology. It's not 1994, 95 style, right? So it was limited in that period because we didn't have too many phones that could recognize it. You needed a special app, etc. Now it's all just default. However, it was the big change. QR codes had a strong period in the early 2000s, and then they went out of fashion,
Mhm.
became too hard. So guess where it came back? Where did you see lots of QR codes recently?
Oh, let me think. Believe it or not, I see them in a lot in like TV commercials.
Yeah, but that's recent. So just think back
Oh, okay.
where it became normal to scan a QR code. What
All
happened?
around here, that's a little different than a lot of places. Um, I
Okay,
know
I'll
a lot
put
of
you.
people use them to make like payments for stuff.
Uh-huh. So remember a time when you couldn't touch people or things or
Oh,
uh,
during the pandemic.
uh-huh. Everything was, scan this because you can't touch it because it might be, and um
Because money is filthy, nasty, dirty. Yes,
and of course
true.
all of the things that you needed were a link to something else, and everybody
Mhm.
started using QR codes as a simple way to be able to, share the information and how to get to it for the low tech people, right? So you can tell them a website and a URL and they forget it. You show them the
Mhm.
QR code and they just scan it, boom, done, right?
Mhm.
So the pandemic had this amazing resurgence of QR codes. And as a result of people getting comfortable during that period with doing those things, and they were on their own, and they had to do, uh,
Mhm.
they had to see
Yeah,
things and go to places and etc. The end result
yeah.
is people became comfortable with utilizing them, recognizing them. And so the
Mhm.
marketers quickly realized that people knew what was intended with a QR code. And that's why you see them on YouTube ads. It's why you see them on billboards. It's why you
Mhm.
see them more on
Oh yeah.
brochures. It's not just the menu in
Yep.
the restaurant anymore.
You
Remember
know,
how it
I
used to
know
be?
around here. Oh yeah. I've been to a couple of places. They said scan the QR code to get our menu.
Yeah,
I just don't
I think
remember where.
I think it's a horrible dysfunctional restaurant that does that. Um, I still ask for the menu. If they can't give me a menu, it's like, well, they don't really care. Now, I know, during pandemic time, they were, hands off everything. I still, the
Yeah.
crazy thing, they couldn't hand you a menu, right? You had to scan the QR code. But then they would go into the
Mhm.
kitchen and use use all their hands and the utensils and tools and all that
Yeah.
thing to prepare your food, and then you would eat it, no problem.
Oh yeah. I do know around here, believe it or not, as out in the country as we are, there's a lot of times when we go to, because we're out in the country, go to like farmers markets and stuff like that. A lot of the vendors are using, scan my QR code to pay and stuff like that.
Yep,
Um,
because
because
all
a lot of people don't even carry cash around anymore.
yeah, uh, in Indonesia, they have a system of payment called QRIS, which is
Mhm.
QRIS, QRIS, and it's
Got it?
QR QR Indonesian standard, and that is the number one way to be able to pay electronically because all of the banking apps recognize a code that's issued to an individual business, and that's how you pay. It's a sort of a backward system. It's a forward backward, like, two steps forward, one step back, right? because we've been doing pay with apps for, touch pay and all of those sort of things for a long time. But
Oh yeah.
hugely popular here because people understand it, and the bank apps have made use of it. But once again, QR codes are everywhere, and people know how to use them,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's true.
so it's a recognizable tool. Here's a little idea for you. You want to get your product out in the marketplace, right? And you want to put them. Um, you want to create a level of difference. One of the things that you could do is you could put QR codes so that people can scan them, but you can't do that in
Mm-hmm.
public, right? You can pay for a billboard, right? But how do you put a QR code out so that people scan it? You can put a poster up on
Mm-hmm.
it, on a pole. Somebody rips it off.
Yeah.
What
Yeah. Oh yeah.
about, all right, the doctor's surgery, the QR code on the mat, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
where was the QR code? On the ground in front of them, right?
Yes.
What about if you painted a QR code onto the footpath? People are walking past, they see a QR code on the footpath, they get inquisitive and scan it.
True.
Now, where that's not available to you, here's a creative angle
Yeah.
to that. You know how so many footpaths are dirty?
Yes.
Imagine you create a stencil and then come with a water basket cleaner, right? You put the stencil down and you clean the footpath in the pattern of the QR code. So
The
when you
QR
take this,
code.
when you take the stencil off, you've got the QR code on the footpath, but the stencil is a
Dirt.
cleaned footpath versus the
Mm-hmm.
dirty footpath. And so therefore you haven't put anything permanent. You haven't done anything other than clean the footpath and created a linkable
Kate
mark.
involved.
A linkable mark. Yep. You like that one?
Interesting to see. Yes, I do like that one. We'll have to try that out somewhere.
Hmm. So
But
QR codes.
the t-shirt idea is also just as good because you could be walking through the store and somebody may be scanning. If you put it behind you, you could be walking through the store and somebody's going to be scanning you. You won't even know it.
Exactly. That's the whole idea.
Yep.
Imagine walking billboards.
Yes. I think that's an excellent idea.
So here's a little mini business idea. Okay. You can pay
Hmm.
people to wear a QR code around
Yep.
with a big arrow that says "Scan me," right?
Hmm. Or
Um,
friends and family members. I know some friends and family members that would do it just for kicks.
yeah. Um, so there's another website called QR Tiger. Um,
Okay.
so let me share you that one. Okay. So this is QR Tiger, right? And one of the things that QR Tiger does, it's a lot of variety. Okay, so I'm just going to put in. So I'm just going to use. Okay, so I'm going to generate the QR code. Now you'll see it change on the right hand side. Hang on, I'll just make that a little bit bigger so everybody can see it. Okay, so the QR code is creatable on the right hand side. One of the options that you have is using a template, which gives you an output like this here. So it's got the instruction, right? And
Yes. I like that.
it makes it really easy. Now, in this instance, you can change the style
Hmm.
of the QR code. You
Yeah.
can make it fancy, right? But imagine you had your own personal QR code to your Tinder profile.
Hmm. Yep.
Hmm.
Oh, fun.
Hmm. Right? Or your own website.
Yeah.
Hmm. So, one of these are some of the things that I've used in the past. So, you know, it's very easy to be able to update. Now, of course, you
Yeah,
can,
and those are cool.
right? So, see how easy it is to copy this, okay? And then you just hit download and it automatically downloads that so you can
Have it.
then use it everywhere. I'll just show you how easy it is. All right, so I've just downloaded, okay?
Yeah.
So we come back here. All right. Oh, okay, we'll do that one. And let me just drop that over there. All right.
Oh,
Now in the
right
middle
there.
of the middle of the broadcast, there it is. So notice how quickly we were able to achieve that. All right.
Yes.
So
Yes, I always thought they were like this tough, complicated things to do.
there you go. I just ungeekified it for you,
Good.
and it
Ah,
literally
I see it.
can
Another another weekly thing for you. Ungeekifying this week. The Internet
un
Whisperer ungeeks for you.
yeah. So just so that you can get a better idea, there's lots of different varieties of things that you can change. So, for instance, you can change the style of the eye, right? And like I'll make a round eye now. Okay, so the little eyes in the corners, right?
See that?
Different logos you can put in. You want it if you want to instead of say scan me, you want to make it so that it's your Instagram, right?
For Instagram, yeah.
All
That's
right.
neat.
Or dare I say YouTube. Now, this option doesn't have the picture in the background, but if you just want a clear logo, right? It's that quick, right? And of course, I can drop that into the broadcast at any time just by
Mhm.
all right.
Downloading.
So lots of different options that you have.
Yes.
All right. So
Although the scan me is neat.
it is particularly neat. All right. So
That would be
uh,
perfect for the back of a shirt.
yep. Um, you need the instruction sometimes, but we've got to the point now where people see that
Oh
and
yeah.
they know exactly what to do. It's really this
Oh
the
yes.
scan me is a extra call to action, and it certainly would be beneficial. But I want to change the colors or etc. So
Mm,
this website allows you to be able to do that. It's got many other options, but this one here
yeah.
is particularly handy for people. Um,
Oh yes.
because it's so
And
quick.
and really simple
All
and
right.
simple to use.
So let me. Okay. So let me use this particular website um, uh, that might become relevant in a second. Okay. So you've got your website. Okay. You copy the code. You come back to the QR generator. All right. And you put that code in here. Generate the QR code. So now you've
Mhm.
got a QR
There it is.
code. All right. Let's go back and use this template. All right. So now you've got that.
Okay.
All right. No, let's just use something really basic and simple. Okay. Or even more basic and simple. Change
Mhm.
the codes. Let's do this. I think this style will be ideal. That's not quite, yeah, but there it is. I'm going to
Mhm.
download it,
Okay.
and there it is. It's done. And that's how
That's
quick it
cool.
is. Now,
Yes.
everybody can scan that code. Okay. In fact, scan that code. Right.
It tells you to.
Scan that code. All right. Now, the the that's how quick all of that is. Right. Did you scan that? Let's just check and make sure that it's working.
Just check it. Give me a second here. Oh, come on. That's slow.
And this is exactly how they work. At a time when you are most comfortable, you're sitting on the lounge and it pops something up in YouTube, and
There it is. Go to link. Ta-da.
but
It works
how
fine.
perfect, how perfect is that?
It is perfect.
So there we are. That's how easy it is to be able to achieve a QR code. All right, there's your QR code, and I'll just go back to the screen share so that you can see, right? So there's the QR code, and this is the tool. It's called QR Tiger, and
It's free, right?
100% free. And let me tell you,
Awesome.
the link's in the description.
Yes, yes, it is.
So today's tech tip. I wasn't going to be talking about QR codes, but what a fantastic option that we ended up being able to
Oh,
get
yes.
through. Anyway, QR codes. Now, what else did you have in mind to be able to quickly catch up with? Because we're technically
Just a
over
couple of
time.
things. Yeah, we are. Just little bits in the news. Outbreaks and recalls in the United States of food. They've taken away a lot of the protections for food safety. I used to be a restaurant manager, so I have used to have all of the different foodborne illnesses memorized. You have to, but they removed all of them but two, Salmonella and E. coli, and everything else they don't track anymore. So we've had a massive outbreak of Cyclospora, which is an intestinal parasite that you can get from vegetables basically that aren't cleaned and washed properly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and mostly because most of the ones that are used, animal-based fertilizers, if you get my drift. Um,
Yeah.
but if they're not cleaned properly, then you can get this parasite. Apparently, there's 4,000 cases
Uh,
in like 30 plus states of this, like in the past several weeks, and they thought they knew what it was, but then they're saying they don't know what it is. So, me personally, whenever I'm buying fruits and vegetables right now, and we eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables because we live in farm country, I will do a double wash of them rather than just rinsing them off. I do I bathe them and soak them for a few minutes in water with a little bit of baking soda in there, and that will get
yeah.
any kind of chemical pesticides off. And then I rinse them off, and then I put them in another bath of white vinegar and water, and that will get any kind of bugs off of them, including microscopic ones. And then I do another rinse for that. It takes a little bit longer, but it's just safer to just do the extra wash to get that off. So, and in international news, the heat wave continues in Europe and the UK. I spoke to a relative in the UK, and they're roasting to death. Mostly because they're not used to it, A, because they live in northern England, so they're really not used to a lot of hot weather in the summer, even in the summer. And number
What's
two, their house is several hundred years old, so there's
so
no
it
air
doesn't
conditioners.
suit AC, etc. Yeah. So when you say hot,
No, no.
what's the temperature? What are they
She was
talking
telling
about?
me 40 degrees, 40 degrees
Wow.
Celsius. Yeah.
Okay, that's hot.
And they're
Even
they're
even
just
in
not
this
used to
tropical
that. Yeah,
paradise, that's hot.
yeah, yeah. And so, like I said, their house is several hundred years old, so the electrical is not, I mean, I'm sure it's been updated, but not enough for an air conditioner.
Yeah.
So they are roasting.
Oh,
So it's a good
we
time.
have
I told her it's a good time to go to, hmm,
um sport. We haven't spoken about sport for a while. Um,
we haven't.
World Cup. Did you think that
Spain.
the rightful winner took the win in the World Cup?
I did really not see that coming. Did not see that coming. I really didn't. But
No.
it made me very happy.
Well, Australia dipped out earlier than the US did, so it was less
Oh, yeah.
important for me to follow it. But some good matches, and of course the international controversy. Once again, the red-headed
Mm,
buffoon, created more drama.
yes,
Um, but
he does.
but sport keeps going on, and uh, next week I'll have another
Yeah.
update for you for his latest little um, sporting manipulation. However, Formula One also happened last weekend, and I was very pleased to see McLaren back on top again. Although disappointed that the Australian who, uh, yeah, missed out on being world champion last year is, once again, suffering not through his own driver ability. Anyway, Piastri will shine sooner or later. Um, what else? Formula
And
One.
and real fast, did Tour de France?
That was
Is
the
that
next
over
one.
yet? I
Absolutely.
remember you mentioned it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tour de France was a brilliant finish. In fact, um, the the current champion, Pogacar, I think he's Serbian, um, uh, an incredible athlete, like just incredibly dominating, and has been for a few years now. However, because the
Okay.
tour is multi-dimensional, it has mountains and sprints and
Oh yeah,
you know,
lots of
all,
mountains.
and um, you can win at all of the different subsections, even though there's an overall winner. There's subsections. The
Hmm.
last race into France was absolutely spellbinding finish, um, and probably the best finish that I've seen ever in the tour, closely followed by Martin
Oh,
Cavendish, 36th win 2 years ago now. Yeah. Um, but this was Van der Poel, and they broke away from the main pack on the final day. He even beat the sprinters, and so
wow.
his team member, who is a sprinter, was contesting the sprint. He came second by half a bike length. Um,
Oh,
it,
wow.
it, if you haven't seen it already, just take a few minutes and go
Yes.
and check that one out. It was astounding. So Van der Poel and Pogacar broke away from the field, just
Wow.
the two of them, and were being chased down, and it came right down to the line, and the normally the chasing pack catches the lead out. In this instance, they didn't catch the lead out, and he won and literally collapsed over the line, like pulled up
Wow.
against the fence, hit the fence, and then
Oh
fell down, completely
gosh.
splattered. Anyway,
I think that kind of a race is more exciting than somebody that just blows everybody away. The ones that are really tight and you just don't know who's going to win till like the last second.
yeah, and the Tour de France has both. An
Hmm.
amazing hill climber rides away from everybody else. A fantastic breakaway, and they ride away from the rest of the pack. And then you have, a bunch sprint where everybody is together, um, and the it's not scripted, so you have no idea what's going to
Oh,
happen on a particular
exactly.
day. 200 kilometers on average, per
Hmm.
day. So 4 or 5 hours of
That's what
riding.
makes it exciting.
Um, for a long time there, I used to be glued to the TV when I was in the right time zone. And anyway, it takes me back to when I was living in Europe in the centre of that sport, where everything happened in the
Oh,
time zone that it was working. So now,
would
it's
have been
early
neat.
morning. It always seems to be out of time. Anyway, that's the way that it is. I'll take my tropical paradise over being in,
In the city.
cold, snowy Europe
Oh yeah, well, it can be.
or heat
Not
wave
right now
UK.
though. Everybody's roasting. Yeah,
Heat wave UK.
they say in Paris they lifted any restriction for people jumping in fountains just so they can cool off. It
What a
used to be
great
we would
idea.
get like hauled away by the police, but now they're like, we don't care, just jump in.
Yep, good idea. Listen, I know
Makes sense
we're
to me.
tight for time.
We're
We've
we are.
talked over. Good session today. Just want to finish off with
Oh yeah.
a view of the website we've talked about. So
Oh yes.
here is Be Independent Today. You'll see a new version of that coming up. Look at that, 1 day, 1 hour, 38 minutes before the challenge begins.
Off before
Here,
liftoff.
and the Internet Whisperer, not much happening there. Here's another one that we're working on, the Lifestyle Academy. My website, you can see it's a little bit more complete and open, and of course yours. What's your most recent update that you did? Black grapes make the best
My
raisins.
raisins, my my raisins. Oh, they do. I discovered them last year, organic black grapes, which I get at the store. Um, and they make the most amazing raisins because, as you know, any dried fruit that you buy in the United States has a ton of low added sugar. It's like, are you kidding me? Fruit is naturally sweet. What is the reason for that? So I just a couple years ago started making my own raisins. But black grapes, the best raisins in the world.
So I just want to
The best.
draw you to, before I go and have a look at the raisins, for those of you watching, great little uh, recipe book with some, handy home and healthy recipes for you. Don't forget, pre-order now before the full book comes out. What are they saving? It's less than half price.
It's
So
half, yeah, absolutely.
less than half price. That's coming out soon, depending on when you're seeing this.
Yes.
So that'll be it could be anything from a few days to a week or so, or it's already out if you're seeing this sometime after. But let's go and have a look at your black grapes recipe, and there it is. There's your. Well, you talk us through it.
It's just a very simple dehydrator I got several years ago that they're not that expensive. And you can just put whatever. It's mostly for fruits and vegetables you can put in there. Although I've known people that make their own jerky in it. But I just take the grapes, I rinse them real good. You have to poke a hole in each one to get the moisture out from the inside, and you put it in there. It's like
Good idea.
24 to 48 hours, depending on the size of the grapes, and you have raisins. You just plug it in and let it go. It just does its own thing.
So you mentioned the dehydrator. Obviously, there'll be
Yeah.
a link in the description to the dehydrator. I'm assuming that you've got a link for that one
There's one right in there, right at the top.
right at the
See
top.
the first sentence?
Oh, look at that.
Yep, see the first sentence.
Okay, so there
Mhm.
it is.
And it's super simple to use. Like I say,
Let,
just put it in there, plug it in, and let it go.
let's go and have a look. There it is.
Hmm.
Okay.
Like I said, you do fruits, you can do vegetables. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. You dry it out. I'm going to use mine and a recipe coming soon for a white fruit cake using all my dried fruit. Um, instead of all the heavy liquor in it, it's just going to be like a pound cake with all the homemade dried fruit mixed in.
Fantastic. Okay. So another fabulous chit chat. And I look forward to the next chit chat. However, in
Yes,
closing,
whether it's morning, noon, or middle of the night where you are. Thanks for spending time with us. Take care. Have a wonderful week. And remember, we'll see you in the morning tonight.